What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out a brand new robot cleaner. The one that we are checking out today is also very different than anything else available on the market. So what we have here today, it's called the SwitchBot S10. Now when you first see this, yes, it does look very similar to most robot cleaners out there, but this one does things a bit different. So first of all, this is a robot cleaner that vacuums like most robot cleaners out there, but then it also mops in a very different way. So the mopping mechanism on this one is different than 95% of the robot vacuums available on the market. I've only tried one other vacuum that has a similar mopping system like this one, and this is the better mopping system out there because the mop here at the bottom gets constantly clean as this goes over your floor. So every time the mop actually spins, it gets cleaned inside the robot cleaner here. So to give you an example, if this would be to go over some ketchup, all that ketchup will actually end up inside the robot cleaner, unlike a regular robot cleaner that has those two mops that spin on the floor. Well, with one of those, basically the ketchup will be spread all over your floor, but with this one, the ketchup will basically be inside the robot cleaner here and the mop will be clean. So that's why this one is different than all the other robot cleaners available on the market, because the way it actually mops and the way the mop here at the bottom gets constantly clean as this is moving on your floor. The other thing that makes this robot cleaner very different is the standalone water station that has two pipes. So we have one pipe that connects to the fresh clean water pipe in your house, and the second pipe that gets connected to the drain system of your house basically. So that water station doesn't need power, it actually gets power from the actual vacuum, and you can have that installed in your kitchen or in your bathroom, basically wherever you're close to pipes. Now, if you don't want to connect it to your water pipes, basically you can also get a clean water tank and a dirty water tank, and that kind of goes over that standalone water station. So basically with the SwitchBot S10 you will get a totally hands-free experience. That means that you don't have to do anything, the vacuum will actually do everything by itself. So let me explain. This will go on a cleaning cycle in your home. It will vacuum and it will also mop. Throughout that cleaning cycle, it may visit the standalone water station to fill itself up with water and of course drain the dirty water from the water tank that we have inside the robot here. Once it's done that cleaning cycle, it will go back to the base station and it will empty the dust that we have inside the dustbin here, inside the robot vacuum, into that base station. So the base station does have a 4-liter dust bag in there. So all that dust goes in there. So it will take quite a while for that to fill up. Whenever this is done a cleaning cycle, it will also dry the mop by itself. So basically the base station has a fan inside and it will dry the mop of the vacuum, if that makes sense. So you don't really have to do anything, you just have to start a cleaning cycle and the vacuum will take care of everything. Alright, so now that you have a better understanding what this robot cleaner does, let's take a quick look at the robot cleaner itself. So when you first glance at it, yes, it does look like most robot cleaners out there. At the top here we can remove this, and that's how you access the dustbin. So this right here is the dustbin. We also have the dust filter in here, so every so often you will have to clean that dust filter. At the top here we have the LiDAR navigation system. So this vacuum of course will map out your entire house. It actually makes the map on the app. We'll talk about the app in just a bit, but basically the vacuum knows exactly where it has to go. It knows exactly where it's been, so it will never get lost. It always knows how to go back to the base station. It always knows how to go back to the water station. So it does all that by itself after it maps your house. On the front here we have the bumper. The bumper does have a lip here that's kind of rubberized, let's call it. So if it would be to touch any furniture, it's not gonna damage any furniture. Of course, we have a variety of sensors here. We also have a couple of LEDs here that will turn on if the vacuum is vacuuming in darker environment, let's call it. And this vacuum also uses AI obstacle avoidance. So if you leave stuff on the floor, it will not go over whatever you leave on the floor. It will avoid whatever it's on the floor. So very important, mostly if you have kids, if you have small toys on the floor. So this will avoid any obstacles that are on the floor. So very important. If we turn this around, at the bottom here we have the brush. So basically everything gets sucked into here whenever the vacuum is vacuuming. This vacuum has a suction power of 6500 PA, so a lot of suction power. It only has to go over area once and it will pick up everything from the floor. And what's very interesting is the fact that this is tangle free. So that means that you're not gonna get all that hair stuck on the brush or that stuff that typically gets stuck on the brush with other vacuums. Very important because you don't constantly wanna clean this brush. However, if you do have to remove the brush to clean something, it's very easy to take this out. And then of course you can just put it back in the same way. We also have even more sensors at the bottom here. So for example, if you have stairs in your house, this will not fall down the stairs. So you have another side brush here that kind of pushes all the dirt towards the main suction hole, which is here. We have the wheels here. And very important, the mop here that's at the back here can actually lift 7 millimeters. So whenever this goes over carpet, so as soon as it touches carpet, the mop here will lift itself up. So that means that it will not mop your carpet. So the SwitchBot S10 not only will lift up that mop whenever it goes over carpets, but it will also scrape the water from that drum into an internal water tank. So that will help keeping that mop relatively dry at all times. So even if it comes in contact with the carpet, it will not wet the carpet because the moisture of the mop has been scraped off. Moving to the side of the robot cleaner, here we have a little door that lifts up, and then we have the mop right here. So you can actually remove the mop if you want to wash this, if you want to replace it or anything like that. So very easy to access this here as well. And of course you can just close that whenever you're done. And on the back here we have the little water tank. So you can also open this and clean it every so often. And that's how it goes in the back there. So that's about it. So even though this does look like a regular robot cleaner that you see pretty much anywhere, there is a lot of tech packed into this robot cleaner. Alright, so controlling the robot cleaner and interacting with the robot cleaner is very simple. You basically have to install the SwitchBot app on your phone and pair the robot cleaner to your account there. Very easy to do. And basically the robot cleaner will be connected to your home's Wi-Fi network. From the app there you can basically change everything about the robot cleaner. To give you an example, you can change the suction power. So let's say that you're working from home, maybe you don't want it at the maximum suction power so it doesn't make as much noise. You can choose how wet the floor should be, so how wet the mop should be. You can set schedules. You can basically do anything. So when you first set up the robot cleaner, it will basically map out your entire house first, and then you can actually send it to a certain room if you want the robot cleaner to just clean one room. You don't want it to go all over the house. So from the app there, you can just send it to one room or 2 rooms or 3 rooms. You can choose how many times it should clean that room and so on. So everything about this robot cleaner is very customizable from the app. Of course, if the robot cleaner needs to recharge throughout the cleaning cycle, it knows how to go back to its docking station and recharge and then continue the cleaning once it's done charging. But that shouldn't be the case because it can last for about 3 hours on the standard mode. So it really depends how big your house is, if you have it set at the maximum suction power. But in my case here and the place where I live, this doesn't have to go back and recharge. It basically finishes a cleaning cycle with about 40% battery left. And that's the maximum suction power set. So it does last for quite some time, so it should clean any location on one charge. Since the mopping system inside this robot cleaner is also much more advanced than your typical robot cleaner available on the market, you're also gonna notice that your floors are cleaner from that roller brush that constantly gets cleaned as the vacuum is moving on your floors. So even when you step on the floors, you will notice that they are cleaner. Now, I did notice that about this much on the side of the wall basically will not get washed. So it gets vacuumed because we have the side brush here that kind of gets in there, but the roller brush at the bottom here cannot reach this section close to the wall. So of course a limitation of the design, because you cannot get that mop close enough to the wall with a round vacuum like this. So something to keep in mind, that will be a limitation of something like this. So to quickly conclude this video, the SwitchBot S10 here is very different than your typical robot cleaner available on the market. First of all, because of that mopping system. The mopping system in this robot cleaner is much more advanced, and of course it will keep your floors much cleaner compared to your regular robot vacuum that just has those brushes that spin on the floor. We also get that water station. That's something that I haven't actually seen, and I don't believe there is any other robot vacuum that does that. So this will fill itself up, it will drain the dirty water from itself all by itself, so you don't actually have to deal with those water containers and so on. We have plenty of suction power, the LiDAR navigation system works good, and of course the AI obstacle avoidance will avoid anything that you have on the floor. As always, there will be a link in the video's description so you can check this out. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I will try to answer whatever questions you may have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.